So I have to give all glory and praise and honor unto the Most High. And in these next few clips that I'm going to be showing you, it's about these Hollywood, celebrities and things and whatnot. And they're talking about eating babies' bloods and, putting blood on their face and things like that. And, what they're doing, they're showing you the truth, but they're using the revelation method to reveal it to you in a form of comedy. This is what they do a lot, and what that does is, it disarms the people that's watching, like, oh, it was just a joke. But no, they're telling you the truth. They're revealing the truth onto you in plain sight. And also, you're going to see that, I'm going to show you right now that, this practice that they're talking about is something that they were doing in the ancient times too, Adrenochrome. So let's take a look at this real quick before we get into it. So this is Jasher chapter 76, verse 28. Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, he asked his wise men and sorcerers to cure him. And his wise men and sorcerers said unto him that if the blood of little children were put into the wounds, he would be healed. And the Pharaoh hearkened to them and sent his ministers to Goshen to the children of Israel to take their little children. And Pharaoh's ministers went and took the infants of the children of Israel from the bosoms of their mothers by force. And they brought them to the Pharaoh daily, a child each day. And the physicians killed them and applied them to the plague. Thus did they all the days. And the number of the children which the Pharaoh slew was 375. I'll stop right there. So you see, this is what they were doing back then. So the Egyptians, they weren't really wise. Because this wasn't working. In the Book of Jubilees, the Most High gave, I believe it was the Book of Jubilees, the Most High gave no instructions on how to heal the body with, herbs and things like that, and how to cure sicknesses and different methods. There's a verse that also says, let's bring it up, Ecclesiasticus chapter 38:4. The Lord had created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. So these are the things that the Most High, was telling Noah in the beginning. He was telling him how to, cure diseases and sickness with herbs and things like that. Not eating any blood or nothing like that, because we're not even supposed to eat blood. The commandments, teaches us like, we're not supposed to be drinking no blood or nothing like that. That's forbidden. So what they're doing is, I don't know, man. But yeah, let's get into this video.
Well, there was a person in a documentary that CNN was doing about QAnon, and this guy, I think he was in Australia, who believed that I ate babies.
Yeah.
And currently, and that was just one of the QAnon beliefs. It's just, it's insane. It's based on age-old, like, anti-Semitic tropes and anti-Catholic tropes. The whole thing of, like, blood libel, Jews eating the blood, drinking the blood of children. The Nazis said that. That's what QAnon believes as well, but it's all celebrities and people on television. And so I interviewed the guy, because he's now, the first guy had now renounced his beliefs, and I wanted to know, like, did you genuinely believe this, that I, like, was eating babies? And he was like, yeah, I did. And he was like, I'm sorry, you seem like a nice guy. I was like, oh, thanks. I was like, no, don't make any definite decisions. See how,
I mean, those moments must be nice, but obviously they're few and far between, right? Like,
yes.
I feel like there's not a wave of people renouncing QAnon.
No. I've interviewed another guy who reached out to me on direct message to tell me that I was going to be executed. I think it was last March in Washington. And I was like, does he really think this? And so I actually reached out. I was like, why that date? I was just sort of curious. Yeah. And anyway, we started talking, and he seemed interested in talking, and I ended up interviewing him, and it was fascinating. He had a family, he had a life, and he believes the Vatican has fallen and the Pope has been arrested, and that Joe Biden is not president, but it's somebody in a costume that looks like Joe Biden. Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to finding out which one of you guys is right. Hey, thanks for being here. Congrats.
Same age there. I mean, there's something to be said for being with a younger man.
I suck baby's blood and put it on my face.
Okay.
Just joking, Hollywood world. No, I think that when you're with someone young, they tend to keep you young. So.
And she then said this. If the person okayed it, I would eat a human. If you were at a very fancy restaurant and they were like a tiny piece of human meat.
No. I think the only way
You wouldn't try a tiny bite?
No.
Really?
Absolutely not.
Okay, Chrissy, a tiny bite of meat is just called sushi.
Oh, yeah. Kate Blanchett admitted to that Sandra Bullock and her went and got a certain kind of facial in New York when they had some downtime shooting Ocean's 8. Today, Sandra sat down with Ellen and explained exactly what it was.
Well, it's this way in which one forces through microneedling. It's like a little roller with these, some of you, I think many of you know it, and it pushes through the skin and ruptures the collagen and then boosts it. You look like a burn victim for a day, but then it pushes the
What are you pushing into the skin, Sandra?
Sarah?
Carrie? What are you pushing into the skin?
Well, you push in whatever the facialist would like to insert into your pores.
But what is it?
It is an extraction from a piece of skin that came from a young person far, far away, and they somehow figured out how to extract.
It's foreskin from a Korean baby. That's what it is. Who comes up with this?
I don't think, it's not like I'm lying there with little pieces all over my face. It's like,
Who thinks of collecting it and having it for, we'll do something with this someday.
And why didn't we come up with that?
Right. It'd be rich.
And so we call it, I call it the penis facial, and I think when you see how good it is to your face, you too will run to your local facialist and say, give me the penis.
This is one of Oprah's favorites. She says it's a miracle fountain of youth and her magic wrinkle cure. So I'm going to put a little on your hand.
I'd do that. Oprah did.
Yeah, Oprah did it. All right, so here, we're going to rub it right in.
How come it's red?
I'll show you in a sec, Steve. So this is made from growth hormones of human
Look, the
foreskin.
wrinkles has just disappeared. I can't even ball my hand up.
But so it's made from human foreskin. I'm sorry, Steve.
You done sat up here and squirted somebody's private parts in my damn hand. What you laughing at?
I'm sorry.
This your last time on the show. This your